Hare Srinivasa. नारायणाय परिपूर्णगुणार्णवाय विश्वोदयस्थितिलयो नियतिप्रदाय ज्ञानप्रदाय विबुधासुरसौख्यदुःखसत्कारणाय वितताय नमो नमस्ते. सदागमैकविज्ञेयं समतीक्षराक्षरं नारायणं वन्दे निर्दोषाशेषसद्गुणम् अभ्रमं भङ्गरहितम् अजडं विमलं सदा आनन्दतीर्थमतुलं भजे तापत्रयापहम्. कामधेनुर्यथा पूर्वं सर्वाभीष्टफलप्रदा तथा कलौ आदिराजश्रीपादोऽभीष्टदः सदा. पूज्याय राघवेन्द्राय सत्यधर्मरताय च भजतां कल्पवृक्षाय नमतां कामधेनवेत्. आपादमौलिपर्यन्तं गुरूणामाकृतिं स्मरेत् तेन विघ्नाः प्रणश्यन्ति सिद्ध्यन्ति च मनोरथः. Hare Srinivasa. Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Till yesterday, in the last sessions, I have discussed the certain topic of the way how Lord Krishna has arrived from Dwaraka to Udupi. Just I want to have a small recapitulation of what it is told in the yesterday's session. Lord Sri Krishna, all the way, he has travelled in the boat which was hidden in the midst of clay of Gopi Chandana. Here what it implies, and I have discussed even the way how Jagadguru Sri Madhvacharya has waved off his cloth, how he has just thrown the cloth and has brought him back safely to the seashore. Here what it implies is Lord is available in the Gopi Chandana. Of course, it is there in the Gopi Chandana, which is who is hidden in the form, and this clearly indicates that there is a layer between the Jiva and Ishvara. That particular layer or that the hindrance which is obstructing us to go or to reach the Lord is being removed by a qualified Acharya like Jagadguru Madhvacharya. So in the today's session, I want to discuss the further activities what has happened in those days after arrival or after breaking of the clay, the Gopi Chandana clay, what all has next happened in those days. Just I want to throw a light on these topics. Apart from this, I want to discuss even on a sarovara or a Teertha, that is a place, just sarovara called Madhva Sarovara, which is in the northeast of present today's Ananteshwara Devasthana, which is in the surroundings of Lord Sri Krishna's temple. So what has happened in those days after getting that, after breaking the clay? Lord has been installed, or he has been taken from that particular samudra or the sea to the place where present today's Lord Sri Krishna's deity is there. So I want to just have a historical background of this particular deity of Lord Sri Krishna. As every one of us know, Lord Sri Krishna has appeared to a pious couple by name Devaki and Vasudeva. He was born in the prison. So, because of the certain activities, because of certain boons given by other devatas to other couple by name Nanda and Yashoda, so Lord wanted to move from that prison and he wanted to be brought over there. So Devaki and Vasudeva were left in the prison, and at the same time he was transferred from present to a place called Gokula, which is near present days Mathura. So Lord Krishna was being brought up over there. He started showing his naughtiness as a small child. He was stealing the butter. At the same time, he was killing the demons who were torturing the pious people in those days. So Lord Krishna, whenever he appears, wherever he appears, his activities will be majorly two. One is Dushta Sikshana, other one is Sista Rakshana. So Dushta Sikshana means killing or perishing the demons who will be obstruction to the growth of the pious people. At the same time, he will be appearing to please his devotees. So this will be the most important activity of the Lord whenever he comes. So that is what he states even in Bhagavad Gita, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanirbhavati bharataha abhyutyanama dharmasya tadatmanam srujamyaham. So as a part of this, so as a child he was doing a lot of mischievous things, naughty things, like he was stealing the butter, he was eating the mud, and when his mother, Yashoda, fostering mother, when she asked him to show his mouth, in his mouth the entire universe was being seen by Mother Yashoda in the mouth of Lord Sri Krishna. So as the days passed, he's killed many of the demons, and he traveled again back to the Mathura. There he killed a demon called Kamsa. At the same time, suddenly Devaki, she expressed her desire to see the activities of the Lord as how he behaved when he was a child. So then Lord Sri Krishna immediately himself turned into a small child, like how he was shown to Yashoda. So he was doing all the naughty things, like he was also again stealing the butter, smearing his mouth with the butter. Then at the same time, he was breaking the pots, what he used to do when he was at Gokula. So naturally, his wife Rukmini, she was watching all this from the far. In the today's sessions, in the today's situation, what we will do is, if whenever we see such instances, we will capture such instances with the help of camera. So in those days, she asked the Vishwakarma, who was the sculptor for the Devatas, who was a sculptor for the demigods and gods. She called him, and he came over there to the Dwaraka, and she asked him to carve a Vigraha, to carve a deity exactly in that similar form. So then Vishwakarma used all his talents. Then he carved a beautiful deity, what we are seeing presently at today's Udupi. So what and all it signifies, what and all it implies, I have discussed in the previous sessions. Like in the right hand he was holding a churn stick, in the left hand a rope. So the churn stick is the one which is used to separate this implications, this implies the churn stick is the one which separates the butter from the curd. So the same way, our negative thoughts, whatever are there, will be churned and they will be separated from us, and he will give the pure divine transcendental knowledge. At the same time, he will be giving a devotional service to all of us, whoever are surrendering to him. So Vishwakarma has carved a beautiful deity. At the same time, she was worshipping that particular deity for a long period of time. And as when the Lord disappeared from this material world, when he has stopped showing his avatara leela at the end of Dwapara Yuga, not even at the end of Dwapara Yuga, in the start of the Kali Yuga itself, when Lord disappeared from this material site, then Rukmini gave this to Arjuna. So from there, Arjuna has taken this and kept it in and installed in the Rukmini Vana. So as the time progressed, as the days progressed, this Udupi Krishna, the Krishna who was holding churn stick and rope in the other hands, was kept inside the Gopi Chandra. Even today, when we go to a place called Gopi Talab in Dwaraka, we can get this Gopi Chandana in abundant quantities. So from there, Lord has appeared from there to here. So here, this is the greatness of that particular deity. Then, without the knowledge of this boatman, this Gopi Chandana was used as a counterweight. So here the Acharya's role comes into picture, not only for that particular boatman, even it implies to all of our lives. So we should have a proper guru who can clear the layers, whatever is appearing between us and the Lord. This work will be done in an apt manner, in a correct manner by gurus, a qualified guru like Jagat Guru Sri Madhvacharya. So after bringing that, so on the way from that particular C part 2, present Udupi, he was reciting it, as I was telling in the Dwadasha Stotra, when he has completed the 5th Stotra, when he was about to write the 6th one. So this particular instance occurred. So and on the way back from there to here, so he recited the further portions, that is the 7 portions of Dwadasha Stotra, and he has completed that one. So this is the particular background of Lord Sri Krishna's deity, the Udupi Krishna's deity, which I have explained to you. Next is the Krishna Pratisthapana. So Sri Krishna Pratisthapana, whenever we are building a temple, this Pratisthapana activity is very, very important topic, because everybody cannot do this subject. It is like it is not like when I am upset with particular temple, I will go and build my own temple. It is not that way. So a deity or a temple, if it is to be built, there are certain procedures. The same way, when a deity is to be installed, there are certain procedures. If the deity is to be carved, there are again certain procedures, which Jagat Guru Sri Madhvacharya has explained all these things in detail in his beautiful work called Tantrasara Sangraha. So anyone, whoever is building a temple or whoever is constructing or whoever is carving a deity, has to be well in accordance with that particular subject. So once when the Lord's deity, the Lord Krishna's deity has reached the present Madhva Sarovara, he has completed, he has asked his devotees, his deities, his disciples to clean that and install it in the particular location. So as said by Guru Madhvacharya, all his devotees have done the same thing. They made the deity to have a bathing and they have kept over there, and Jagat Guru Madhvacharya has done an abhisheka and has done the prana pratisthapana. When again he told his disciples to bring from that particular location to the place where present deity is there. So till this particular location, four or five of his disciples were able to lift that deity very easily. Once, when the pratisthapana of this by the acharya is completed, suddenly the deity gained its maximum weight, so that all the 35 of his disciples were not able to lift at a single point, at a even an inch they were not able to move that one. So it is this situation where Sri Madhvacharya entered the scenario again, and he has lifted this deity with ease and comfort, which others were not able to do. What it again implies is the person who is doing this pratisthapana activity is very, very, very important. So everybody cannot carve the vigrahas, everybody cannot carve the deities, everybody cannot install it at the places wherever they want. So for that there are certain rules for this subject. So as it is said in Tantra Sara Sangraha, it is told very clearly what are the upasanas, what are the mantras, what we have to adopt. So all these things were told in Tantra Sara Sangraha. So what are all the factors that will play a crucial role? As the deity gained its weight, that means it indicates that the Lord has given the pratishtha, a prana pratishtha. That means the Lord has entered in that particular deity. With this, the prana pratishtha activity is completed. That means the person who is doing this also matters a lot over here. So whenever we want to carve a deity, or whenever we want to construct a temple, what are all the important factors which will come into picture are the place where we get this stone, the place of availability of the stone, and then comes the vibrations, the spiritual vibrations, what we gain from that particular stone, and how we bring it, with what bhava in our minds we are bringing it. For example, if we think that particular stone as a huge boulder, or we feel if it is like a heavy object, we cannot get that vibration in that. Once when we think that with the bhakti bhava, that activity itself will become very light. And the qualification of sculptor, as I said in the few minutes back, the sculptor who has carved was none other than Devashilpi Vishwakarma. And the place where we are planning to build that particular temple, the installation muhurta time, the participating ritviks, then the mantras used for that installation, and the person who is installing that particular deity, and finally, last but not least, that is the pratisthapana siddhi. So all these things will count whenever we are building a temple. In accordance, it has to be in accordance with the shastras, especially the shastra like Tantra Sara Sangraha. So all these factors will be playing an important role. So what are all the characteristics of that Udupi Krishna? So a handsome smile we can see in that particular deity. Once when we see that particular deity, we can feel the smile of the Lord in that. And it is complete, it is giving a complete assurance to all his devotees, whoever have surrendered to him. So as I said in the previous session, Sarvadharman Parityajya Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja. So once when we completely surrender to him, Lord will completely take care of it may be our material needs or the spiritual needs. So this is the background or the installation method, what has happened in those days. Now coming to the point of Madhva Sarovara. It is also called as Ananta Sarovara. So in those days, this was very important Sarovara. Not only in those days, even in the present day situation also, we have to have a bath. We should have a bath in that particular Sarovara. This is one of the important things. So what has happened was, I will just explain in the form of shloka. काशीतले कृतपदापि सरितसुराणा मायाति यद्गत पवित्रसरोधुनापि रुद्रादिदेवगणसेवितसर्वभागं तद्रूप्य पीठपुरमप्रतिमं त्रिलोक्याम्. So what it means is, so Ganga, she flows with complete pleasantness in a place like Kasi city or Varanasi city. At the same time, she will be coming to this Rajata Pithapura. Even today, that is called as Ananta Sarovara, and after this particular instance, it has become like its name has been changed to Madhva Sarovara. Even today, she is coming in that particular location. So, is there any such place which in these three words which can be equal to this Madhva Sarovara? This is the meaning of this particular shloka. So here again, once again, I want to reiterate one particular thing called, one should never be offended by this kind of sentences, because the poet will have a certain degree of freedom. What it means this, in general, any person who ever vacates one particular place and joins to the next place, there should be a certain convenience or certain requirements, or if there is some deficit in the existing place which can be fulfilled by the next place. That is the way. Whenever if we are shifting our house or anything for that matter, we will be looking for certain zone of comfort, at the same time necessities over there. When something is deficient over here, we will try to move that from that particular place. Generally, Kasi is also a place where many things are abundantly available, but still that Ganga river, she wants to come from that particular place to the place of Udupi, means it is just because she wanted to have the sparsha of Jagat Guru Madhvacharya. So the background behind this I will just explain in a nutshell. Madhvacharya had his guru by name Achyuta Preksha. He was so closely attached to his disciple Madhvacharya. So generally, sannyasis should never get attached to anything or anybody. Here, he has got attached to this particular Acharya, Jagat Guru Sri Madhvacharya. So that means, though he has left everything, he was attached to this particular personality. The reason is he had that personality, he had that knowledge about the Lord. So generally, a sannyasis can detach themselves from the material things, but can develop attachment towards the spiritual gurus or even to the Lord. That is what is required for a sannyasi. So once Madhvacharya has told to his guru Achyuta Preksha, stating that I am moving, that he wants to move to Kasi city to have a dip in Ganga river. So Guru was unable to bear the separation from his disciple Jagat Guru Madhvacharya. So he was looking for a ray of hope as to which force can stop this person moving away from here. So then he prayed to Lord Ananteshwara over there. then Lord Ananteshwara, in one of the people assembled over there, he has entered in that particular personality. That means it is called as Avesha in Sanskrit. So when any person enters into the other person, that is called as Avesha. It may be a good Avesha, or it may be a bad Avesha. If it is bad Avesha, it is Asura Avesha. If it is a good Avesha, it is like a Devi Avesha. So this kind of Avesha has happened in one particular personality, and he was telling, from today onwards, within the next 3 days, Ganga will come from Kashi to here. With this, Achyuta Preksha was feeling very, very happy. More than Ganga's appearance, he was feeling happy that his disciple has not got separated from here for some point of time. So and people, everybody were looking for the third day. And as the third day appeared, suddenly the huge flow of water has happened from there to present Sarovara. Sarovara means it is a pond. So from there, it has completely filled this particular Sarovara. So this Sarovara is in the northeast of present days Ananteshwara Swami's temple. So from that day onwards, the name of Ananta Sarovara has been changed to Madhva Sarovara. So here what it implies means, so a person should never try to lose, or he should never try to get separated from the Sangha of the good people, from the pious people, from the knowledgeable people. So one should get themselves separated from this negative people, negative vices. At the same time, people can get attached to the Lord and the spiritual gurus. So this is the topic which I want to conclude at this session. In the coming next sessions, I will just be discussing the topic of Apurva Dashavatara Stuti. So with this, I want to conclude this particular session and dedicate the same to Raghavendra Guru Antargata, Vadiraja Guru Antargata, Bharati Ramana Mukhya Pranantargata, Udupi Sri Krishna. Sri Krishnarpanamastu. Hare Srinivasa.